Hey YouTube, my name is Lily and I really like to make YouTube videos. And to kick off today's video, I really want to talk to you guys about abortion. Specifically, actually, the 8th Amendment. Now, for those of you who don't know, what rock have you been living under? I'm just kidding, but for those of you who don't know, the 8th Amendment basically gives equal right to life between a mother and her unborn child. It's a really old amendment that was put into the Constitution years ago by pro-life groups who felt that abortion should not be legal in this country constitutionally. And for years our constitution has stayed the same. But over the last 10 years or so there's actually been quite a few incidents where because of the 8th Amendment a woman has lost her life. Not to mention the amount of women who have to travel abroad every year, which results in a really traumatic experience for these women. And I don't just mean women, I mean young girls. I mean people who are under the age of 18. There are a lot of women and young girls in this country that get pregnant and can't have kids. Like, come on. Whether they can't afford to have a kid, they're still in school, they haven't even gotten their education yet. Financially, they might not be able to support a child. Maybe their life was just going a different direction. Abortion sometimes is the answer. But unfortunately, under the 8th Amendment, abortion's not legal in this country. Now, a lot of the arguments for keeping the 8th Amendment are, well, it shouldn't be used as a contraceptive. Which I think is a ridiculous statement because abortion is not a contraceptive, and it's impossible for it to be. A contraceptive is something that stops the ability to get pregnant or prevents pregnancy. Whereas abortion, it doesn't stop pregnancy, but it does stop development. Let's be real here. When you get pregnant, you have a bunch of cells that are dividing over and over again, and eventually they're going to lead to a fetus. That takes weeks and even months of time to even happen. Now, an abortion that happens before that time, I'm really sorry, pro-lifers, but that's not killing an unborn baby. It's really not, and there's so many articles out there, scientific journals that support that. A clump of cells is not a life, and a lot of people are going to say that that's just my opinion and that I'm wrong about it. That's absolutely fine. If you think I'm wrong, you don't have to stick around and watch the video anyway. The 8th Amendment being in the Constitution means we have to have a referendum about whether or not it should be in there. This is what the argument is. It's not about whether or not you are pro-life or you are pro-choice. Now, I don't like using the term pro-life, I rather using anti-choice, but a lot of people know them as the pro-life movement, so I'm just going to call them pro-lifers. So the pro-life movement are throwing out information to you, the individual, that to remove the 8th Amendment from the Constitution will mean that everyone's going to be getting abortions everywhere. There's going to be abortions sold to you in your local shop, whatever. They think that it's going to be anarchy in the streets, you know, panic on the streets of Dublin over the fact that the 8th Amendment isn't going to be in the Constitution anymore. But really, what pro-choice individuals are looking to do with this vote, this referendum that's coming up very soon, please tell me you're registered to vote. Comment down below if you registered to vote and you're going to vote. What the pro-choice movement wants to do is just to take the 8th Amendment out of Constitution so it can go into legislation. And once it goes into legislation, then the law can be made about what our country wants to do with the abortion problem. And for those of you who don't think abortion is a problem, read a book or something. It is a problem. People think that if abortion were to become legal and a thing, there's just gotta be like abortion clinics everywhere. But abortion clinics aren't exactly what you think they are. Abortion clinics are also family planning centres, sex ed centres, places for people to come and actually plan to have a family, learn to have a family, to educate their kids about having a family. All of these are really important things that aren't exactly taught well in Irish schools. And if you think they are taught in Irish schools, you're very wrong, because I went to Irish school. You also went to Irish school. I don't know what experience you may have had, but I had a very different one. So let's kick it off at the very beginning when it comes to school. Sex education in school is bad. So you have kids who don't understand how to use contraceptives properly. They're taught that abstinence before marriage is more important and that sex before marriage is a sin. At least in Catholic schools, that's what you're taught anyway. Now, one good thing is that some schools are changing this and Ireland is moving forward in its way of teaching about sex education, and that's great. And so when you come from an education system where you're not taught about contraceptives and safe sex or communicative or consensual sex properly, you're running the risk of falling pregnant or getting your partner pregnant. So already we have a system that perpetuates people getting pregnant out of ignorance, particularly young people. So if the 8th Amendment were to be taken out of the Constitution, these people would actually have a chance, because there will be a legislated law out there about what they can do, whether or not they can choose abortion as an option. Legislation works a lot better than constitutional law, in my opinion, because it can be changed. And it can be changed easier than a referendum vote. A lot of people are going to think that no, we need a referendum because it's a very important issue. And I agree with you, it is a very important issue. But for God's sake, people need access to abortion. It's basic healthcare, women's bodies. They deserve that. No matter your opinion on abortion, whether you are pro-life, pro-abortion, pro-choice, anti-abortion, but still pro-choice, whatever your stance is, I really hope you go out and vote. Because voting is the most important thing when it comes to the referendum. If you want to share your opinion, make sure to share it at a voting poll. I hear a lot of people talk and talk and talk about abortion, but are they actually going to go and vote for what they believe in? I really hope you do, because it's your responsibility. You're a citizen in this country, and if you really want to share your opinions, whether or not you're pro or anti-abortion, go out there and vote for it. Just remember that this referendum is about whether or not the 8th Amendment should be in the Constitution. You're not going to be making the choice whether or not abortion is going to be legal or free or safe or anything about that. It's about whether or not it should be in our Constitution. And honestly, I don't think there should be any language in our Constitution, the Irish Constitution, that says that women can't do a certain thing with their bodies. You have to trust women, and you have to trust their stories and what they say. Women are the people who fall pregnant. Women are the people who have to deal with pregnancy. Women are the people who actually have to get abortion. Whether they get it in this country or not, this is the choice we have to make. In any case, get out there, read up on it, talk to your local Repeal the 8th group. For reals. Listen to what they have to say. I'm definitely going to be voting in this referendum. I really hope you do as well. Do your best to educate yourself, have safe sex, and I really hope you don't have to travel to Britain to get an abortion one day. That's all for this video today, guys. I really hope you go out, get out there, get active, look into this issue, read about it, do your best, and do your part for your fellow women. Repeal the 8th Amendment, and as always, until next time, all the love.